Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Let It Die. This one should be tacked right onto the last bit where we just finished off defeating hard mode White Steel. So when you've defeated a Forceman, it's always a good idea to bring something with you to Suicide on the Forceman floor to get back to the waiting room. For certain Forcemen it's not that important because they are easy to reach from a main elevator. But for certain other Forcemen that take a long time to find or are hard to find, you want to Suicide on their floor because you've got free recovery from death on a Forceman floor. So if you manage to kill yourself on the Forceman floor, you have a quick return to the waiting room so you can go to the next whatever you want to do. I don't have a way of suiciding here. One way of doing it is having being naked, taking your armor off and using a whatchamacallit, a high level launcher. Yeah, fireworks launcher. I don't know names, neon names, and the launchers. I mean, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you'll know I always find it difficult to remember the names of all the launchers in this game. What, I heard something. Never mind. So yeah, I think we'll be heading just straight up to Nightmare mode from here. Floor 9, Nightmare mode, easy to get. Actually, there was, I think it was in the 6-star fighter range. On a 6-star fighter range, there was a White Steel Hater Fight player guarding floor 9, and he was there for the longest time. So if you wanted to go and defeat White Steel Nightmare mode, you'd have to go past the player wearing White Steel gear on floor 9 guarding White Steel Nightmare, which was pretty cool. But they've completely changed how the hater system works in this game. They've nerfed it. Who do we got now? Hello, mister, I can get one-shotted. Well, we're still wearing the bull belt. Now, one thing to bear in mind is you have a very slow recovery over time, just naturally going on with your fighter. So you don't want to be just in bull range, you want to be comfortably in bull range. And that's why I like using the yellow cranes, because it brings you very far into the bull health range. You have to be below 15% for these jokers to trigger, and I think you're like below 10% with the crane strategy. This is probably the way to go. There he is, Nightmare. Gonna be putting the hat on for this one, and we might, I don't know. I think I'll use the regular bull, what am I saying? The regular birch cooked shroom, not the gold one. I could use the gold one, but you know, I'd like to see if it's possible with the regular birch shroom, just so people don't feel pressured into having the golden one. It's not necessary. I mean, you just have to ask yourself, do I have enough damage to one-shot him with what I've got? That's really what you're trying to do here. You're trying to put yourself into a state where you've got that much damage that you have the damage to one-shot him. That's what this build is all about. Oh yeah, I was gonna credit him again. The YouTuber how I learned this strategy from, Spianzuk, and his video, Let It Die One-Shot One Kill White Steel Nightmare mode. I'll link it in this description as well. It's an interesting video to watch because he actually uses mushroom buffs stacking that they removed from the game and doesn't work anymore. Like, for those who are not going to watch the video, he stacks crush rooms and sting shrooms, and I was surprised to see it working in his video, but a lot of things have changed in Let It Die. They've changed up many things. So yeah, funny to see how it used to be possible to stack those two. I guess I'll eat another mushroom just so I have 4 rage. Costs 2 rage to use the DPSS rage move. You can see how much rage everything costs. It's the little turquoise number on the top left of the icon that shows you how much rage costs everything has. The sword has 2, so I need 4 just in case I mess up the first one. Okay. Right. First we consume the grilled oak shroom, and then we consume the OG sting. Now every time you eat shrooms you also recover like 20 health, and we're slowly recovering health passively because we're not hungry. So yeah, you do have to watch out just through all these recoveries to not leave bull range. Anything else I'm forgetting? No, I don't think so. Anyway, if we fail this, then it'll just cost 100k to go back. I'm probably have a few 100,000s lying around anyway. Okay, let's do this. I'll let the cutscene play out again. Notice no gun, no removal of prior mushroom doping. Booyah! Get wrecked. We didn't see the damage numbers on this one, but the last white steel we defeated, we did a roughly 30,000 damage to. This is going to be more, because we had the warrior hats equipped, which increases strength by 14%. On the specific classes, actually, I don't think it matters. I'm trying to figure out, I heard someone say that the increase to your primary stat, your primary damage stat, might as well just equate to a damage increase number. So if you're using melee weapons and you're using a hat with plus 14% strength on it, it might as well just be plus 14% damage. And the same with the dex increase hats. There's dex increase hats with 12% dex increase. On a shooter class or using a shooter weapon, it might as well just be a 12% increase in damage. Also, don't dawdle on a Forceman floor, because jackals can show up here if you wait long enough. A 44 CE, I appreciate, but I wouldn't have minded a blueprint either, considering we still have how many to find? 1, 2, 3, yeah, I've got 5 blueprints that I can obtain from him. So we've got no way to suicide back to the waiting room. However, it shouldn't matter, because it's a pretty easy connection here. There's certain fights where it's very easy to suicide back. Pale Wind would be the easiest. With all the hazards lying around on the floor, you can just bump into them, and you've got a very quick ticket back to the waiting room, which is cool. Red Napalm, you can stand in the fire in her arena to flame yourself to death. Depending on how much health you've got left, it might not be quicker to get back to the waiting room like that, but it is a very relaxing way to get back to the waiting room. So if you manage to defeat Red Napalm, arguably the hardest or one of the hardest Forcemen, you're probably on edge and you want to go AFK, get a snack, get a coffee, just chill for a minute. You can stand in the fire and know that you're gonna passively go back to the waiting room eventually. Mouse. I need these shrooms. Need a lot of these. Seems I'm running low. Okay, let's head back and see what this blueprint is. I was hoping for a blueprint, actually, on the kill we just got for Nightmare Mode. Anyway, you can see how easy he is to defeat. We've got a base level Dragon Buster sword. We're on a 5-star striker. Like, this is a challenge I'm doing a bit ahead of time. Look at that temple. Yeah, look at that chrome dome. I don't know, man. The warrior hat looks so silly compared to the berserker hat you get, which is its second form. Really cool. Yeah, the berserker armor is one of the cooler armors for appearance in the game. Of course, they mess it up in the tier 4. I'm not a fan of the tier 4 look. I think looks its coolest in tier 3. Yeah, if you're using a bull build, don't walk over the center there, the vanishing point. That'll heal you up and destroy your bull build.
Huh? You've got something nice there, ain't you?
Sweet. Arguably one of the most or more important pieces to get from the white steel. Interesting resource cost that. Look at all those DoD colors. What a colorful thing. So yeah, it seems like an obnoxious cost. The important thing about the Forceman gear is its insane durability. This Spike Crusher has 18,200 durability, plus 4 weapons have 1,701 durability. All of the normal weapons have that durability, except for the Dragon Buster Sword S, which for some reason ends up with like 90 more durability. It's really a weird thing. A strange exception. So yeah, it looks like all I'm missing is Spliffium to get that Joker upgraded. I think I'm just gonna drop by the reward box. Spliffium is something I'm not lacking, because I haven't experienced the limit break, the Escalator to Heaven patch limit break for all the items. You can basically makes that you can upgrade everything again, like for a stupid amount, and that'll wreak havoc on your Spliffium stores. But I haven't experienced that content on this account yet, so I've still got all this Spliffium just waiting to be spent. So now, yeah, that's another reason I'd want the white steel stuff, so I can also just get rid of some of this Spliffium in a useful way.
Oh, it's you.
There we go, the Spike Crusher. Be ready in 3 hours. It is one of the most efficient weapons in the game. It's got an extremely usable moveset. It's got a delayed third hit. It's comparable to the Dragon Buster Sword in attack scheme. The Dragon Buster Sword, it also kind of swings in the same way. See, like from right to left, instead the sword has a bit of verticality to it. The Spike Crusher is just horizontal on its 2 first attacks, and its third attack will be, instead of another horizontal swing like the DBSS, its third attack is a downward smash. So it's a horizontal, horizontal, vertical, like almost completely perfectly across the axes. 2 perfect horizontal swings, perfect vertical swing. And if you delay the third attack, like what you would on the DBSS, you've got the poke. With the Spike Crusher, you've got an even more useful attack. You've got a strong downward strike, which will have an even bigger AoE than it usually has. That's something I've yet to show off. I will, whoops, went over the vanishing point, killed the bull, whatever. I think we're done with killing white steel anyway. I mean, I might farm him out a little bit between episodes just to get all the blueprints. Actually, I might just continue on and farm him out a little bit. in this episode. So we've completed 4 quests. 2 of them are the non-repeatable. Well, they are repeatable, but the rewards are like 500 kill coins or something. You know, the regular bullshit that you'd get for repeating a quest. So I consider that non-repeatable. The non-repeatable death medal quests for a whopping amount of death medals. 8 death medals for that hard mode, nightmare mode combo. You'll get 8 death medals for nightmare and hard mode killing every Forceman. So that's 4 times 8. Yeah, but I go over that in the previous episode. A lot of that is just recovery for the amount you spent to be able to kill them. Because yeah, it takes a while to learn the Forceman. Yeah, so 2 of those quests were the weekly quests. On the weekly, you've got a quest. It's part of the TDM season addition to the game, where you'll get a bonus 44 CE to help you upgrade stuff. Look at all those death medals. Beautiful. Oh, got a sneeze coming up. There we go. Dot 44 CE times 2. 1 for hard mode and 1 for nightmare mode. You don't get 1 for normal mode because you can sneeze on normal mode and you'll die. It's not a challenge at all. Normal mode really is just to practice the boss's moveset in the fight. Yeah, I think Bull was running out anyway. Like, I was passively recovering and it was going to break Bull. So, yeah. Unequip the hats. And this is what I'm talking about. See that health loss there? That'll always happen when you unequip the hats. So if we would have jumped off the crane in this state, we would have died. Oops, there we go. I don't know if this DBSS is still strong enough to rely on being able to one-shot him. Yeah, I've got the golden birds though. Well, let's just go ahead and take him on, shall we? Mushroom. Yeah, this probably doesn't stack. I'm not gonna try it. I am gonna try it. I'll do it like in the waiting room though here, just so if we fail, we're not gonna fail the fight. Anything else I'm forgetting? Yeah, the birch rooms. Birch room. Damn, I've only got golden birch rooms remaining. Oh well. Grilled sting shroom. Yeah, actually, I don't have enough mushrooms to farm this out a lot. I don't want to use the golden mushrooms too much because I find that an important ingredient in defeating red napalm. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna go and kill him 1 more time or 2 more times over the course of this video. I'm just... yeah. Okay, I think I've got everything I need on me. If you get duplicate blueprints, you can sell them. They've increased the value for the blueprints from white steel. Yeah, you should... Man, I'm thinking about a couple of things at the same time. Bear in mind the durability loss on your weapon. After a while, your DBSS will become so weak that you won't be able to one-shot him anymore. And I'm starting to worry about it. We've already lost 200 damage on this one. Using a rage move on any weapon will chip away at its durability, and the longsword class is no exception. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna check that out. So let's see if this is stackable. Om nom nom. Nope. The icon is replaced. You can tell the buff icons even look different. In Spianzuk's kill video, he takes on white steel and he's able to stack those two. but they must have had an update somewhere in the past for Let It Die where they've made those two buffs not stackable anymore. They've constantly been balancing this game. They've tried to keep the balance perfect. The developers of Let It Die are very worried that the player would ever become overpowered in any way or find a way to exploit their way through the game. Not in a cheating sense or a hacking sense, but in a game mechanics, clever use of game mechanics, exploiting a weak points in the game. One that I can think of just off the top of my head right now is the haters of Battle to the Top. Battle to the Top content we haven't seen yet on this Let's Play, but they released hardcore haters, which don't care if they get poisoned or not. That's one of their the big differences between hardcore haters and regular haters. They're featured in the 40 to 50 floors, those hardcore haters. Hold on, I'm just gonna kill these jokers. And yeah, it's like, obviously they saw that people were using the puking mechanic. Well, when you poison a hater, and that's why I've usually got a poison weapon with me, is the poison haters. They will try and get rid of the poison by throwing up, and that's a weak spot. You leave them open for attacking when they start vomiting like that. Yay, mushroom. This is a decent floor. Oh yeah, this strategy is pretty good because it only requires you to have 2 mushrooms. You only need to farm up 2 mushrooms. Oh my god. Are you really? Screw you. Literally. Actually, it's more like drill you, because I'm wearing the drill arm. Anyway, here we go. Setting up bull again, jumping off 4 times. You have to be full health and not wearing a health modifying hat if you want this to work out properly. So yeah, if you want to farm up the 2 main shrooms for this strategy, you'll be wanting the mouse shroom and the bird shroom. Now I can give you 2 floors where you seem to find a decent amount of those critters. Of course, on Friday you've got the side area here that isn't showing up now, but there's a side area and one of those floors has a stupid amount of mice on it. But yeah, anywhere in the low floors you'll find some mice, but specifically I find floor 2 kind of decent for finding mice. You've got like this room where they'll show up, and you've also got a couple of beasts which show up in this room. And there are 2 frogs now, but they can both be mice. So this could be a mouse, that could be a mouse, and then you've got that room over there which could be a mouse. They might pop out of the boxes. I don't know if there's boxes in this floor. I'm just going to check if there's any beasties around here. Sometimes you've got a beast in this little pool here, but it might not be that they spawn on this floor. It might be on another floor that they spawn. But yeah, anyway, long story short, floor 2's a decent floor when you're looking for mice, and it's also the floor you'll pass when you're setting up the bull build. So you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, bull build set up. Let's continue onwards. And for birds, there's one specific tile which is good for, actually, full amount of time left. We've already seen me defeating white steel. I'm going to quickly go up to floor 39 and show you the tile I'm talking about. Now I'm not too worried about dying on the top floors to enemy damage. We've got a decent armor and we've got 60%, 150% increased defense in our current state. Bull increases both attack and defense. So let's go to Nagasaki and show off what I'm talking about. It is a very specific room that I've got in mind where I seem to find birds pretty often. Now, it's a room that you might want to farm birds. Doesn't have to be on this floor. This is just the only floor that I can think of on the top off the top of my head where the floor, what am I saying? The room I'm thinking about shows up. I hope we find it. I've only got a few minutes left for this video. Anyway, you know, the first thing I'm doing after I'm ending the recording here is going and giving a nice kick-ass of a white steel. Give him a good going over. Okay, don't want to consume anything, recover any health. Not this room. I don't even know if I need that hovering metal. Probably do. Oh my god. I'm not sure if we're hungry. Might be hungry. Might want to eat something. But not anything that recovers too much health. Ooh, I guess we know which way not to go. Finding your way in this game and going up escalators and elevators is such a time consumer. It is insane the amount of time that goes into that. If you want to get rid of hunger, you have to eat a beast, not a shroom. Shrooms don't help. Here we go. This is the room I'm talking about. Okay, get behind the bone tuber, stab it in the back. This is a room where I'll often find birds. This room seems to spawn more often pretty high level beasts. Screw you guys. Okay, so over here sometimes a bird spawns. I mean, there's a beast that often spawns over here. Don't know if it's specifically this floor, but it's this room I'm talking about. Like an equivalent of this room. You can find beasts in the boxes. There's a beast that spawns sometimes on this end of this room. Let's see. And over here. Over here's another beast spawn. Right here. And down there, there's another beast spawn. Like, I don't know if it's this floor specifically, floor 39. I mean, this room on floor 39. But maybe on another floor, this room might show beasts. I mean, we're seeing no beasts here, so it's probably not on this floor. Anyway, this room is a good one for finding birds, if you're looking for birds. We're out of time, so take care everyone. I'll see you in the next episode.